Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto, the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya, is scheduled to leave the country for Germany and Belgium just a few hours to Raila Odinga's mega mandamano, which will begin tomorrow. And Kenyans are asking themselves several questions. One of the questions they are asking themselves is whether the country is in danger. Is there something which William Ruto knows that they don't know? And the other question they're asking is whether William Ruto is just showing a sign of a president who is not bothered by the mandamanos. In this video, I want us to look at the details of William Ruto's trip to Germany and Belgium and the political objective of that particular trip. Because we all know that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get straight to the details of this trip. And I want to go verbatim from a press statement which has been issued by Hussein Mohammed, who is the spokesperson of Status. Now, this is what Hussein is saying: renewable energy, green industrialization, and trade on President Ruto's agenda in Germany and Belgium visit. This is what he's saying. President William Ruto will depart the country today, Sunday, 26th March 2023, for a 4-day visit to the Federal Republic of Germany and the Kingdom of Belgium, respectively. In Berlin, the president will meet His Excellency President Frank Walker Steinmeier and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in talks aimed at strengthening bilateral relations between Kenya and Germany. We all know that the main reason why Raila Odinga never became the president of the Republic of Kenya was because the American government believes that Raila Odinga is a socialist, and therefore he would lean towards the East, which is Asia and probably German. So the choice of German in this trip, in my view, is also significant. Let's continue. And of course, meeting a president and a vice chancellor of Germany is not just a walk in the park, which means William Ruto team really did a good job there. And it proceeds, President Ruto will also deliver a keynote address at the Berlin Energy Transition Dialogue, outlining the challenges of energy security amidst the worsening climate crisis and the push for investment in renewable energy in Kenya and in Africa. Kenya will also explore partnership with Germany on youth agenda, especially in vocational education and training. Of course, Germany, where Raila Odinga got his education, they want them to come to the country to also help, because they are well advanced in terms of education, especially on technology. And in Brussels, the president will meet His Excellency Alexander De Croo, Prime Minister of Belgium, and discuss mutual areas of interest, including health, addressing Kenya's food security and drought response, climate action, and trade investment. The president will also engage with the leadership of the European Union, including His Excellency Charles Michel, President of European Union Council, and His Excellency Ursula von der Leyen, President of European Commission. His meeting will reinforce Kenya's commitment to Kenya-European Union strategic dialogue to deepen partnership between Kenya and the European Union under the 3 key pillars of peace, security, and stability. That is also very important. We are talking of peace, security, and stability, sustainable and inclusive development, and economy, trade, and investment. Now, that's the detail about William Ruto's trip to Germany. Before you leave, I want to ask you now to pay very close attention to the political implication or the political objectives of the trip. Let us look at the political objectives. Why is William Ruto leaving the country when Raila Odinga has called for the demonstrations? And this time round, Raila Odinga has actually called for a nationwide demonstrations, because the last week, the demonstrations were confined in Nairobi. Raila Odinga asked his supporters from the entire country to converge in Nairobi. This time round, Raila Odinga has asked his supporters not to converge in Nairobi, but to demonstrate wherever they are. And William Ruto has decided to leave. Is there a danger? Or William Ruto feels there's nothing, so he just left. For me, I'm looking at several things which might have forced Ruto to leave. Number one, are there plans to arrest Raila Odinga? And then, after Raila Odinga is arrested, William Ruto will not be blamed. It will be blamed on Rigathi Gachagua. I'm just trying to think. So William Ruto strategically left the country in the hands of Gachagua so that Gachagua can execute, using the police and others, the mission of arresting Raila Odinga and deal with the consequences while Ruto is away. Because Ruto will be away for 4 days, which means if Raila Odinga is arrested tomorrow, then they can deal with the aftermath for the next 3 days. Maybe the 4th day, a solution might have been found, but William Ruto would be out, and therefore Rigathi Gachagua would be blamed. If you look at politics the way they are, between Rigathi and Ruto, who can benefit from Raila Odinga supporters? Obviously not Rigathi Gachagua. So William Ruto is, in my view, I'm just trying to think, I could be wrong. William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza government might be really and seriously contemplating arresting Raila Odinga. So the demos tomorrow will be monitored very closely. And you see, when Raila Odinga talked of Rigathi Gachagua holding meetings with Kimani Ichung'wah and Ndindi Nyoro, Raila Odinga is not mad. He knows something. So I want to think that probably that is one of the reasons why Ruto has left, to create an environment for Raila Odinga to be arrested. Then he will not be blamed because he's out of the country. Number two, there's also the possibility that William Ruto just wants to run away from the demonstrations. The fact is, so many people are saying that Ruto is not bothered. Let me assure you that no president would want demonstration, be it demonstration by the doctors, be it the demonstrations by the students, be it by church leaders. No president would want demonstrations. Raila Odinga's demonstration is massive. Like what happened last week was so massive to an extent that we saw tourists leaving the country, several of them in their bags, with their bags. We saw Rigathi Gachagua himself confessing that the country actually lost 2 billion. We saw the Nairobi governor, Johnson Sakaja, also making certain statement to the effect that Nairobi lost, I think, was it 300 million or 30 million half day, that specific day. So maybe William Ruto is not sure on how to deal with this demonstration, so he just wants to leave. Number three, which I think could also be the main thing, is that this is part of William Ruto's international relations strategy in the face of political instability. Let's face it, William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya because of several other factors. One of the factors is international factors. The choice of German is key. The choice of Belgium is also key. If you've been following the politics of this country, Belgium played host to several political refugees several years ago. And Belgium is one of the countries which is supporting, actually, in this country, political rights and organizations. So for me, maybe William Ruto is trying to create some deal with the international issues, international relations, by going to Germany. So you leave the country here burning, then you go to Germany. And in Germany, you meet the president, you meet the vice chancellor. Then again in Belgium, you meet the prime minister. And then you meet the leadership of the European Union. which is very strategic. So those guys will ask you because you are meeting them. On the TV on the wall there, they're seeing demonstrations in Kenya. I am sure that there are also Kenyans in those countries who will also be demonstrating in some of the venues of those meetings. I know that's what they'll do. Kenyans abroad are going to do that. So they'll be asking Ruto, what's really happening? So Ruto will explain to them, we went to the polls, we won the elections, and then after winning the elections, this is what transpired. This guy refused to accept elections. So they'll be able to deal with the issues. Maybe we'll rally their support, or they'll ask them to put pressure on Raila Odinga. Like I'm sure if the president of Germany were to call Raila Odinga and pile pressure on him, maybe it would make a difference. And number 4, in my view, Ruto is a shrewd politician. These demos were actually anti-William Ruto's demonstrations. By being away on the day of the demonstrations, what is happening is that William Ruto is now shifting the focus from him, the focus of the demonstrations from him. To who? Rigathi Gachagua. When you'll be seeking on the streets that Ruto must go, while he's out of the country, you will not be making sense. The guy who will be dealing with you, who will be addressing the media that day, will be none other than Rigathi Gachagua. The only challenge Rigathi Gachagua is that he might not have the powers of the commander-in-chief. There can only be one commander-in-chief. But being the deputy president, he can order the police, he can order any other person to do it. Then he can, police brutality can happen. Ruto will not be there. People will be shot here, there. People will be arrested here, there. Leaders will be arrested. Then Ruto will not be blamed. Rigathi will be blamed. It will be easier now again for Rigathi Gachagua, as now the man in charge, to invoke that tribal tag, Kikuyus. So we'll be able to bring the Kikuyus, what Raila Odinga was telling me the other day, to counter the Azimio demos. So for me, that's also very strategic. But I think the main reason why Ruto has left this country in the hands of Rigathi Gachagua at this moment in time is the ICC factor. I think William Ruto wants to deal with these demonstrators once and for all. There is no way you can deal with the demonstrators once and for all. There is no way you can deal with Raila Odinga once and for all without police brutality, without people suffering the consequences. So I'm trying to think and imagine that the only way this can be done is using the police. And that explains why that gag on media was issued, so that the media will not be able to air some of these things live. And as long as media will not be air them live, then it means they can execute these schemes. But you know, William Ruto has a case which is still can be opened anytime at ICC. Raila Odinga and these brigades have been trying to collect evidence just because of Ruto. So now with Ruto out of the picture, it means these schemes can be executed. Then new players can then be asked to face ICC. Maybe Rigathi Gachagua wants to use ICC again for its politics. So he told Ruto, please just leave. Leave me these guys, I'll deal with them. I deal with the issue of ICC. ICC propelled you to the presidency. I will also use the ICC to win the support of the Kikuyu. That's something. What do you think? By the way, if you've reached this point, know that it's Sunday. Love you guys. And lastly, I think William Ruto has also left the country because he wants to portray an image of a president who is not bothered by whatever is happening in the country. He wants to portray an image of a country which is on the move. Nothing is really happening in the country. I don't know what you think, but others are also suggesting that after William Ruto visited Kisii and Migori yesterday, and the images came, and those images were not very good. Most people believe that maybe William Ruto has also gone out of the country to rest, because he has not rested since he started his campaigns, and maybe to also seek medical attention. I don't know what you think. Do you think William Ruto has left the country for that trip and strategically to seek medical attention? Let me hear your thoughts on this. and may you have a good day. Bye bye.